Hello, this is Kevin, and today we are going to look at putting multiple tables within one report. What multiple tables allow you to do is actually have different totals or different summaries all within one report without having to go to a separate report to get it type of concept. The report that we've built up to this point has just been a basic invoices by job report. What we're going to add is we're going to add a summary that shows me the total dollars per job in just a separate area. So it could be at the bottom of the report, it could be at the top, it could be off to the side and so forth. So that's what we're going to take a look at in this session, is how to basically add a different table and show different totals or a different summary with a different level of detail in that portion of it. We're in our interactive custom report writer. There's the report that we've been working on so far. So we're going to go back into edit. And this is what we've had up to this point: is our job description, vendor name, invoice numbers, invoice dates, amounts, paid, and open. And we've got it set up where it'll basically total for each job. And give me a report total at the grand total there. What I want is I want another report just like this one of the same information, similar information, but really just showing me kind of these job totals. And I don't want to have it at the bottom. I'm just going to put it off to the right so I can see just kind of an overview of the total invoices for these jobs off to the side here. This grid that we've been working with is considered a table. If I go up to this icon here, it will let me add another table to this report. By default, it added it to the bottom. So if I go all the way to the bottom of my report, here's table 2, where it's put that same information in there a second time. By moving it around, I can basically put it beside it. So now I've got the same information basically twice. This one's being clipped a little bit because I don't have that setting to let it show me the whole thing, but that's not going to be a problem because when I get done, it's just going to show me a job and a total dollars when I get done with this. When we've been modifying some of the things before with this first table, I was going back to define to do it. You can do that, and you can also do some of the modifying from within the screen with the pencil for edit view also. And when I talk about multiple tables, I need to use the pencil because this define will control both these subreports at the same time, where in essence, I just want to manipulate this table without manipulating this table at the same time. I'm going to go up to the pencil here, then edit this table 2. It'll basically now take me to just table 2's information. So I could see that up here where it'll say table 2, and here's what the report's showing me at the moment. What I'm going to do is, here's the columns associated with this report at the moment. This is where I could tell it to exclude it. If it's excluded from the report, it will not show it, and it will not try to group by it then. So for example, I still want total paid and invoice amount and open amount. So I still want these 3 columns here, but like invoice number, I'm not looking at the detail in this one, so that's a column that I want to exclude it. Vendor, same thing. I'm just looking at a total for the job at the moment, so I'm going to drag it down and say I want to exclude vendor. I want to exclude my date there, and I want to exclude that at the moment. And in this case, I'm just going to look at the invoice amount. I'm not going to look at the paid and the open. Well, I guess I could just leave those on there. That's still fine. So now you'll notice that this is the total of the invoices. So because I took off the detail and this table is not grouping by it anymore, it basically still gives me the same totals as what I had for my subtotals in that previous table, but without all the detail. If I go ahead and say I'm done with this and look at what I've got going on, there's my detail. So for this job, I had these vendors and all these invoices and these dollar amounts, which summed up to this $244,080. Looking at my summary table, I still see the same dollar amount. None of them's been paid. And, some of my open amounts the same as my invoice amount at the moment. So just a neat way that you can actually look at multiple kind of levels of detail of that data without having to go to another report to do it. If I go ahead and take a look at my prompts and preview, the only thing about putting them side by side like I did to begin with is it looks good on paper, or on the screen. You may have troubles with it on paper depending on how wide your pages are and things of that nature. But as you can see here, just kind of a neat way that there's all my jobs, all their totals for some reason, and here's all the detail if I wanted it. So I could have this at the top and just start with this and then come on down to the detail if I wanted it, or go through and just see this summary to the side and see the detail on the other side. And there again, I could reverse these two, which might make some sense if I went off and said, let's grab this table here and put it to the left side of that table. So now it would show me my job list over here and my detail on the right-hand side for each one of them. So that's kind of what multiple tables do. And you could go up and put in additional tables. So you can have many, many different tables of information. The only limit to it is they do have to be based on the same set of data. So these are all based on, accounts payable, bill, detail type of relationship. And that's pretty much the first basic method on basic tables. One of the future videos will be drill downs where you could actually look at one report, click on it, and it can show you detail in another grid for that information that you're highlighting. So that's another place that we'll use tables is when we get into some of the drill down options. Thanks for watching.